Al Henshaw here again, within the local constitutional coup in California. Another important issue recently in the news, and I think it's going to be for a while until we get this stuff sorted out, is they just are apparently going to enact a parents' right law in North Carolina. And it seems like almost a contradiction in terms, since if the parents don't have the rights over their minor children, who in the hell does and why? But this goes to all this book crap they're teaching in schools these days and transgenderism, whatever the hell that is. I'm 75. I don't know what the hell that is. And apparently, second and third graders are competent to decide that's what they are. This has to stop, especially in elementary schools and preschools, for crying out loud. There's much more important things to be doing in those age groups, even if this LGBTQ stuff had any place in the schools at all. It certainly shouldn't come into play until at least probably ninth or 10th grade. But by the age education standards, who knows? They're not teaching a damn thing. I mean, when I was back in school decades ago, it was much better. It was controlled at the county level then, not by the state level. That's one of the things that makes it worse. And we got pretty good education. And I was right outside of Washington, D.C. for crying out loud. And they didn't teach me jack about what I know about the Constitution, history, and laws of the United States. And you don't know it either. And it's my job to teach you and get you up to speed so you can improve your life, your children's life, and the lives of your posterity. Just like those racist framers tried to do with the original intent of the Constitution. If we get that back, we're going to be so much better off. Federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, not today's elected despotism, in which, by the way, and I can prove this like I can do almost everything a cappella off the top of my head without notes, hasn't been a lawful election since November 6th, 1860. And I can prove it. But that said, the parents' rights law, it's redundant because how in the world are any outside groups, especially these types of groups that advocate all this transgender crap and all that? And think of it too, the real objection, and many of these people might be seeming to act in good faith, but they're not, even if they don't know it, because all these civil rights BS and crap emanates from sections 1 and 5 of what we can prove is the non-existent 14th War Amendment. And when you use that, you're invoking federal, regional, martial law rule while destroying the federated Republican government of defined and limited powers and buying into today's elective despotism. That doesn't work under any circumstances, and it can't work here. For more information, by the way, send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com, and you'll learn. I can teach you how, by acquiring my very modestly priced materials, with which you get complimentary phone consultations and answers to emails and things to get you up to speed. And it wasn't easy for me. The key word here is perspective. Once you get that, and that's what they never want you to see, especially the New York banksters. Thank you very much. And you learn, then you can teach your children and your posterity and maximize your potential to have the good life that you should have. That was the whole point of ordaining and establishing this Constitution, to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. For more information, send me an email, humanincourt@gmail.com. But it doesn't get more exciting with the Supreme Court, in the fourth term of an all-out assault on the administrative state, which threatens to victimize each and every one of you out there in one or another context. It doesn't matter which it is. They can't do any of it. When you understand your rights and know how to go in there, even in their corrupt courts, and challenge jurisdiction, or better yet, remove it to a federal circuit court. That's a judicial court to which we have the right from day one, and none of these administrative agencies or any people like that can come in there. They don't have standing, especially when they can't assert and prove jurisdiction in the corrupt state court when they have the burden of proof to do it. They never even make an attempt. They've assumed you volunteered into the system. You don't have a life. You have no rights. And that's what has to change. And we get back to the government we had, and it was never a perfect government, but only the best one ever invented. We want it back. We can get it back and make changes and do it the right way, the way we want to do it, and not be subject, to being federal, regional, martial law. They think, oh, you're in the army for crying out loud. And that's how this system really works. So for more information, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And, we can go from there. I'll give you the details about what I do and how I do it. And I've got some very easy installment plans too for those of you that are, low on funds. So don't be too worried about that too much. But we want to get out there and take care of business here. And we have multiple ways to do it now. It's really exciting. I mean, here I am, 75 years old. Life is ahead of me. That's how it should be. And for kids in school these days, especially in elementary schools, God help them. And really, if we had some truth in advertising these days with the system we have in place on elected despotism, Congress, which doesn't think there's any limits on its powers, and with truth in advertising, could easily enact a law making giving childbirth felony child abuse. Or as ridiculous as that seems on the surface, they would actually think they could do that. And there's a lot more in favor of that than a lot of these BS laws they pass every now and again. But it's just how ridiculous all of this has gotten. But it's just hard to put it into words. But in any case, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. For more information, you're going to love what's going on here. And as I say, it's going to help you, your children, your posterity, and we get rid of all these state bar association attorneys and other agents of the New York banksters and get back to the government we should have. That's what I was put here to do, and I've still got a good 8 or 10 years here, maybe the way things are going, and thankful for my great health every day. So I can get out there, help you, help your children, and deal with this stuff and get us out from under. And with the Supreme Court we have now, I think we're very close to being able to do that. So send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, especially for information about today's court and how good of a job they're doing. But they just need to do it faster, guys. If you're listening out there in Washington, D.C., hit the accelerator, please. That's what we need. And you've been somewhat of a problem here, not having done your job in the last 90 years. So it's time you start making up for it and help people out here from coast to coast so we can get back to the lives that we should have. That said, remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The quicker we take action, the quicker we make things better for all of us. Thank you.